Most of the experiences I've had have really changed my whole belief system concerning who God is and his reach in love towards all his creation, that God's love is far-reaching, it never ends. It's unconditional for everything, everyone, has no boundaries, there's no limitations. We've looked over this series about the fact that religion creates all sorts of conditions that can make love attached to those conditions, and which we can never keep. And that makes people feel guilty and ashamed and condemned a lot of the time. The consequences of our failures to keep those conditions are used against us often in trying to follow the rules, trying to keep us in line to some religious tradition or particular way of looking at things. And over the last few weeks, we've really looked at one of the biggest of those issues is really the threat of punishment, eternal conscious torment, the hell issue, which really we've looked at to see that the consequences of our lost identity, which in the Bible is what sin is actually called and what the Greek word really means, our lost identity, and the wages of that lost identity is death. It's not punishment, it's not torment, it's death. And Jesus conquered death, as we've seen in the last couple of sessions. Now, because God is unconditional love, we can trust in his faithfulness, his trustworthiness, his dependability, his reliability, his consistency, his constancy, his steadfastness, his diligence, his perseverance. He will never stop being unconditional love. It is who he is. It's the very nature, character, and essence of who God is, and it can be totally relied upon 100% all the time. God never changes. But God is not passive. He's proactive. God doesn't sit around waiting for us to do something. God is proactive, and it is him who reaches out to us. He demonstrates his unconditional love first. God set up our restored innocence in Jesus before we were ever lost in Adam. The new covenant was established before the foundation of the world. God has found us in Christ before he lost us in Adam. That's a quote from the Mirror Bible. And it's absolutely true. Ephesians 1:4, one of my favorite Bible verses, says, just as he chose us in him, in Christ, before the foundation of the world, that we would be holy, blameless before him in love. So he did that. That was his choice for everyone. The us there is all that he created, that he's chosen us to be blameless, holy before him. Now, we can't be blameless and holy in our own strength, but in his love, in the power of his unconditional love, he has made us righteous. He has justified us. He has made us holy and blameless. In verse 5, it says, he predestined us to adoption as sons and daughters through Jesus Christ to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, the kind intention of his will. That is because his unconditional love will never fail. His unconditional love has made it sure that we can enter into that restored relationship with him. But from his perspective has never changed. From ours, we felt separated from God because of our own behavior and lost identity. We've got amnesia to who God really is and to who we really are, and we live out of that lost identity in the way we live, seeking to find identity in so many things, mostly making it worse.